Good morning and welcome to a weekend vlog or Saturday night vlog, Saturday movie night thing. When I do this I tend to start before the evening, before the actual movie watching, and you can just skip to that if that's what you want to watch, but I haven't done one of these in a while where I just talk to you about whatever comes to mind and where I watched movies, and so I thought that I would do one today. It is 9:30 and I just woke up and I'm feeling somewhat alert. I'm surprisingly untired and so I think I'm just gonna get up now. I will have a lot to choose from today. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna watch, but you can see right here that I have just stacks of movies that I bought. So we'll see what I decide to choose. What I decide to watch tonight. But before that, I decided with my dad that I'm going to help him with throwing away some garbage at the scrap yard, whatever it's called. There are a bunch of things at his office, at his work where he works, that need to be thrown out basically, and I'm gonna help him with that, and then I'm gonna work out, and then it's time to watch movies. I'm gonna try to watch as many as possible. I don't know how many I'm gonna watch, but I'm thinking maybe 3, maybe 4. It depends if I decide to watch TV too, because you could see down here I have ER and Family Guy, and Family Guy season 13, or season 11 actually, but it says season 13. But I've sort of saved that for this weekend. I watched some of it last weekend, and I could have easily finished it over the weekdays, this past week, but I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to savor it because I love Family Guy, and I don't know. I just felt like saving it for today, so I might watch some of that today. And ER, we'll see, but I'm really into that show right now, season 7. Well, time for breakfast. I'm also gonna text my dad and tell him that we decided to do it at noon, but I didn't expect to be up this early, so I'm gonna text him and tell him that we can go earlier if it's alright by him, because I would prefer to do that, I think, so that I can then get to the gym earlier and start my movie marathon earlier. I gotta say, I love what I did to my Walter White bobblehead. Put my Nile sweatband on his head, and now he looks ridiculous, and I love it. Hindsight 101. No, that didn't take a long time to film. Some of the trash that needs to be thrown out. Work with me. Maybe I should use both my hands. Så ja.
Så där. Nu så.
Speaking of workout, I was supposed to do that later today. But I don't know if I'm gonna have to do that, because this is like a workout. Well, this is more like strength training. I'm gonna do cardio. So, my dad is a doctor, and this is sort of like a place adjacent to his office, where basically it's more physiotherapist and pediatric care, I think. And so they have some rehabilitation here, so it's not a proper gym or anything. But I could work with these weights and some of these, and definitely this one. And they do have some cardio here, so you know, not that bad.
Ja, det är vi. Ha det så bra. Hej då.
It's a massacre. We came to the conclusion that you couldn't close this roof with all these chairs, so well, my brutal dad, he decided that we would break the chairs, and that seems to have worked fine.
Rakt på sak mot refräng som det vi kanske hör bogigare,
Ja,
lite mer djupare.
det fanns ju en...
Well, I'm off to the gym now. I'm not gonna bring the camera. I did that last time actually. I did a weekend vlog. It's been like 3 months, I realize. It's too long. I have done vlogs since then, just no Saturday vlogs like this. So yeah, definitely time for another one. But I'll be right back, and then it's time to watch and talk about some movies. And I am home from the gym. It's 5 PM. I just did cardio today, and yeah, I'm ready to start my movie night. I have many hours ahead of me to watch whatever I decide to watch, and it's gonna be a good time. So let's get comfy. Let's turn off the lights. Let's close the window, shutting out some of the noise. Let's pull this to the side a little bit to make it a little darker in here, and I'll put my jug of water here to prevent the drape from falling down. Well, you know what? I usually do this. I put my lamp on there. And now I'm, fit for fight. Well, I was watching ER last night before I went to bed, but I am not gonna continue with that right now. I feel like I wanna watch an episode or two of Family Guy to warm up before I start with the first movie, and I have plenty of movies to choose from here. I recently did an unboxing video, which would be the last video I uploaded, and I did a haul before that, and so I've got plenty of movies to watch from. It's almost a little too many to choose from, because I want to watch all of them, but I gotta choose. Anyway, I'm gonna start with Family Guy. I believe there are 22 episodes on this set here, and I believe I have, let's see, pretty sure I'm on the 3rd disc. I have like 6 episodes left or something. Yeah, I'm on this episode, Big Fat. So yes, 6 episodes left. So let's watch this one first. Alright, fun episode. Now it's time for the first movie, and I think I know which one I want to watch. I've been wanting to see this for a long time. The World's End. Good movie to start the night with. It's time to eat. This is always the problem when I make movie nights. It's too dark to film. I can go and, turn the light on, but then I need to get up every time I want to talk, and I'm too lazy to do that. But yeah, I'm like an hour, 5-10 minutes into the movie, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I knew, of course, that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost was in it, but I did not know that it was gonna be a fucking all-star cast. I mean, as far as British actors / comedians go, I guess. I mean, Paddy Considine is in it. Maybe he's not that much of a comedian, I'm not sure, but Martin Freeman is in it, Eddie Marsan, and then along with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they're sort of the main group, and it's a lot of fun. So far, it's like 40 minutes left, so a lot of stuff can happen yet, but so far it's a little bit repetitive. The sci-fi element so far, hasn't been that diverse. When at the 40-minute mark, when something out of the ordinary happened, I think it was about 40 minutes into the movie. When the sci-fi entered the movie, basically, that's pretty much what you've gotten so far. There hasn't been anything more than that as far as sci-fi goes. So I'm hoping for an epic conclusion of sorts, where something more comes into the movie. I'm being very, I'm not being specific, but I'm just hoping for something more, because there's been plenty of fight scenes with these people. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there hasn't been that much more. But I'm really enjoying it. I mean, really funny, quick, witty dialogue. some really fun, some really well made, some really good comedic choreography, and overall really enjoyable. But my food is getting cold, and I'm gonna enjoy the food and continue to enjoy the movie. Well, the movie's over, and I really don't know what I feel about the ending. They added a lot of plot there. I don't know. The main thing I liked about it was the quick, witty dialogue, and it was just funny. The sci-fi parts, I'm not gonna say that I can take them or leave them, but that wasn't really what I liked about the movie the most. It's just all of these actors coming together, doing a great job. I don't know, I'm gonna check out, I think there's a making of featurette here that I'll, yeah. Completing the Golden Mile, the making of the world's end. A 50-minute featurette. Well, I'm gonna watch some of it anyway. Well, you know what, I'm actually gonna save this one, because it's 8 p.m. I'm gonna watch a couple more movies. This looks like a good featurette actually, but I'm gonna prioritize movies tonight. So I'm just gonna jump right into the next movie, and I'm thinking it's gonna be maybe not a comedy, because I've watched Family Guy and now The World's End. So let's just see what I have here. Well, I had some problems deciding. I was going back and forth between several titles. I mean, I was thinking about, I kind of feel like watching Evolution, but I said no comedy, so I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit. That's actually another sci-fi comedy too, so I'm gonna do another genre. I felt like watching, speaking of sci-fi also, but not comedy, I felt like watching Soldier and Sphere. I also kind of felt like watching Arlington Road. I was thinking about watching this, the Man Who Wasn't There, but this is actually a black and white movie. I think there might be a color version too. I'm not sure about that. I believe I read somewhere that there's a DVD release that's presented in color, and this one anyway is presented in black and white. But I decided to watch maybe not the typical choice for a Saturday night movie, but it's not that long. It's just 83 minutes, and it's the Blackfish documentary. I'm really interested about this, and I'm gonna watch this right now. And yeah. I'll tell you what though, it's 8 p.m. I'm gonna have time for 2 more movies, maybe 3, or 2 movies and Family Guy or ER, like I said before. But I just kind of wish that I started even earlier, but I had to do those things before, and some part of me wishes that there were more hours in the evening. Because I would have been up for watching 5, 6 movies in a row now, no problem. But that's gonna, I mean I could, but that's gonna be, it's gonna be way into the night. And it doesn't really matter, doesn't have to matter, but there's something about watching movies between 6 p.m. and 12 p.m. Well, 12 a.m. Well, midnight. Those hours there, that's my movie time. That's when I prefer to watch movies, and I can't really explain why. Watching movies way into the night when it's 3 a.m. it just doesn't feel the same. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. It's weird. I used to do it. I used to have no problems with that, but these days I'm not enjoying it as much when it's that late. I just kind of wish that those 6 hours went a lot slower, so that I could watch like a movie for each hour. I don't know if I'm making much sense. I don't know. Anyway, the more I talk, the less I'm gonna be able to watch. Of course, the less I talk, the shorter the video will be. And you don't want that, do you? I don't know, but yeah. I am going to watch Blackfish, and then I'm gonna share my thoughts about the documentary, obviously. That's Blackfish. So basically this documentary explores the captivity of killer whales at SeaWorld, and how they perform for audiences, and how trainers have died. Many trainers have actually, that made it darker. There we go. It turned to black, but this is like a light, so you can see me better, hopefully. But yeah, it consists of interviews where people basically tell the stories of how a lot of people, trainers at SeaWorld, have been injured and killed by killer whales, and it explores this, and you know, definitely take a stance against it. So you know, it's not a neutral documentary or anything like that. I mean, the documentary did give me kind of some pretty strong feelings about whether or not this is a right thing to do. Kind of opened up my eyes a little bit. But yeah, like I said, it consists of interviews, and it's one of those documentaries where the subject is examined and told by these people in the interviews. And I was kind of some reason I was thinking that it was going to be a different setup, or a different that they were going to tell the story differently, maybe mainly with visuals, mainly with some kind of artistic visuals, I don't know, rather than this very conventional storytelling of an actual event. I don't know, I was kind of thinking that it was going to be darker for some reason. I don't know where I got that from, but it is a very conventionally told documentary, and it's nothing it's nothing out of the ordinary, but it's well told, and it's an interesting topic, and at certain points I definitely was like, you know, yeah, that's fucked up, or you know, they bring up some very interesting points in the documentary, and it's a solid documentary, but it ends in a kind of like a little it ends on a sappy note. It ends, I don't know, I liked it definitely, but it wasn't as original as I hoped that it was going to be. Definitely not. But I'd say that it's a good documentary. You know, mainly there are documentaries which they're not really meant to educate, but a lot of them are. That's the purpose for a lot of documentaries, and this one does a good job with that. I do love watching documentaries about people where you're not educated, you're just fascinated. But this is more of an education. It's interesting too, of course. Some things are, in a sense, fascinating, but it's more like, well, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna jump right into another train of thought. There was one thing that I thought that the documentary was missing, because they're talking about how these killer whales, one thing they were talking about, or that they hinted at, is, you know, killer whales, there's not a single you know, record or whatever of an orca or a killer whale or a blackfish ever killing someone in the wild, and yet in captivity, which they perform, and it's all, you know, cushioned or whatever on the outside, but behind the scenes, which is of course where the documentary dives into, you know, it's horrible in a sense. Well, it's horrible, and so yeah, it explores that. I was interested in why, you know, with these bad conditions that the orcas live in, or that they're kept in, you know, how come they cooperate? Sure, maybe they get, you know, pissed off, or they don't know what to do with their frustration of being kept in such small perimeters, whatever, and that's maybe why these accidents happen in captivity rather than in the wild. Sure, but I was interested in why they cooperate at all. They didn't really bring that up. I was wondering when I watched it, like, well, how come they do that, or how do they get them to cooperate? Maybe it's not really what the documentary tries to convey, but I was curious about that. I was thinking about that when I was watching it. Anyway, I got tons of thoughts in my mind when I watched it that I thought that that I wanted to share with you. I'm sure I forgot some of them, but yeah, those are some thoughts about the movie. It's good, for sure. I realized that I don't need to, I just sort of did this with the grape because the sun was up before, but now it's not, because it's almost 10 p.m. and most likely that's why it's so fucking warm right now. So I'm gonna change that, and then I'm gonna watch the next movie, because I don't see why I should wait to continue. So I'm just gonna jump right into the next one, and I'll be right back informing you about what my next choice of movie is, what my third movie of the night will be. Okay, so it's between two movies, either Amazon Women on the Moon, which is kind of like an anthology sketch parody absurdist comedy thing. 5 different directors directing one segment each, I think. And then we got Small Time Crooks by Woody Allen. Don't know which one I'm gonna watch, I'm just gonna pick one at random. It makes it difficult to mix them together because the Blu-ray feels different than the DVD, so I kind of will know which one I'm... Alright, now I don't know which one is which, so... And it's Amazon Women on the Moon. So let's watch that one. I don't know what to expect. It feels like one of those parody movies where you will... Well, they're gonna make references to a lot of things where if you don't know about them, then maybe you're not gonna appreciate it as much. But it looks like a fun movie, so I'm gonna watch this right now. Alright, like I said, I don't know exactly what to expect, but let's just see what you know, what the hell this is. My favorite actors. Well, that movie kinda went by quick. It was a lot of fun. I said before that it was 5. Well, I didn't know. I was just guessing, but I said that it might be 5 different segments or parts because it's 5 directors, but there are plenty more parts. It's a lot of short sketches, and some of them come back. And I mean, there's like, say there's one sketch first, and then a little bit later, that comes back in another context, just to sort of repeating the joke, but in another context, in another sketch somehow. So they're tying the sketches together a little bit and just having fun with it, basically. But yeah, it's a lot more than just 5 different segments or stories or whatever. It's just a bunch of different short fun stuff. I mean, it reminded me a little bit of Kentucky Fried Movie. It's been years since I saw that, but kind of got that feeling. I'm not sure when the movie is from exactly. Yeah, 1986. Definitely felt like an 80s movie. I would definitely recommend it if you like a Kentucky Fried Movie. If you like these kinds of well, it's not exactly like Airplane or The Naked Gun, but a little bit like that, sort of like the same kind of humor to some degree, and it's made around the same time, so some of it has kind of like the same feeling. It's a lot of fun if you like parody humor and sketch humor, and just it's fun. It's definitely. I'd go as far as to say if you like comedy overall, check it out. Definitely fun. I will say, in the beginning, after a few sketches, after a couple, 2, 3, 4 maybe, I was not feeling it. I was like, I should have just gone with Small Time Crooks. But then, as I kept watching, I was like, no, this is funny. It's it took a little while, but it definitely got there eventually. I really ended up enjoying it a lot. So yeah, 11:30. Let's watch a 4th movie. Well, I guess the fourth and last movie of tonight will be Small Time Crooks. Yeah, I still feel like watching this one. I mean, yeah, I guess it's been a lot of comedy today, but I've been in a comedy mood. It's no secret that I love comedy, but usually on Saturday nights, on movie nights like this, I tend to wanna watch something else than comedy. Tonight I've just that seems to be what I want to watch, and I haven't watched a Woody Allen movie in a long time. Well, I think so. It's been a while, especially one where he's in it. So I just feel like watching some Woody Allen, and yeah, so I'm gonna check out Small Time Crooks. Not supposed to be one of the absolute best Woody Allen movies, but I'm looking forward to it. It has a good cast. Hugh Grant, I admit I like Hugh Grant. John Lovitz, Michael Rappaport. Not a phenomenal cast, but a good cast. But pretty much all Woody Allen movies has good casts, so no surprise, but still, it's always worth mentioning the cast of a Woody Allen movie. So, let's check out Small Time Crooks, and then, yeah, then movie night is over, but one more to go. Well, I finished Small Time Crooks. Like I said when I was about to start watching it, it's not supposed to be great maybe, but I really had high hopes for this, because I did not enjoy it at all. Some parts were fun. I mean, well, I enjoyed some parts, but it was really weak. There's only one Woody Allen movie that I really have disliked, and that was Celebrity, and then like Hollywood Ending and Curse of the Jade Scorpion. They were mediocre. This one I would say is mediocre too. It's just entertaining enough to keep it from being bad. It's not a great rating. It definitely feels like Woody Allen just making a movie because that's what he has to do. I'm not sure if you're familiar with his he basically, after he finishes a movie, he takes a couple days off, but then he just gets so restless that he doesn't know what to do with himself. So he starts working on his next movie. And this just feels like one of those typical projects that he doesn't really have a great idea, but he just needs to work, because he's a pretty depressing person in a way. When he talks about the meaning of life and the fact that it's all meaningless. It's obvious that he has a lot of those thoughts, and I don't know if that's why he has to work all the time, because he can't handle those thoughts. I don't know, but there's some reason he just needs to work, and so it feels inevitable that some of his outputs aren't gonna be masterpieces, and this, it's not very good. I didn't like it. It just is. It's just. I don't feel like I have anything clever to say about it, but it's not. It's just not good. It's no good dialogue, no good. Well, Hugh Grant was good. I was gonna say no good acting, but I do enjoy Hugh Grant's acting. No character development, nothing rewarding about the movie. I don't know. It's just very bland and boring. Yeah, just boring. Simply boring Woody Allen. He has done a lot of movies that are not boring. Obviously, he's a terrific director, but just some stuff he does just in a way feels kind of unnecessary. It's always fun to check out a Woody Allen movie, but many of them just aren't great. But I really like what he's doing, and I appreciate the fact that I think if he does a movie in 2000, he's made one movie every year since 1976 or 1977, so just one or two more and he's done one movie every year, literally every year. He hasn't missed a year for 40 years. That's an achievement. definitely. And I reckon I'm gonna watch every Woody Allen movie. I'm gonna follow his career until it's over, basically. I am a really big fan, but just sometimes they're not very good. Alright, that's it for this time. It's 1:30 approximately, because that clock is a little bit too fast. Tomorrow is election day in Sweden. We have election every 4 years, and it's gonna be, like many people say, it's just gonna be. I'll be glad that it's gonna be over. The pressure will be gone, and the politics will cease from dominating the news. Well, not for a while, but eventually, pretty soon they will. And I mean, we have 8 parties here whose politics we need to consider, and I've made up my mind, but you know, it's more of a feeling than a massive gathering of information. I'm just not very into it. I'm not I'm not political. I'm not whatever. I do find some stuff interesting about politics. I can find it interesting to listen to politicians talk, but maybe that's mainly because of their rhetoric than their politics. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched 4 movies in a day, but today I'd say The World's End was definitely the best one. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like it. While I didn't like the ending, I keep getting back to that, that was a good movie. But the ending, I'm not sure about that. It's fine. The movie was a lot of fun. Just so many good, such great dialogue throughout the whole movie. So, I mean, it's definitely sometime in the near future I'm gonna have to sit down and do a Cornetto trilogy marathon thing. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and then this again. It's been a while since I saw the other 2, so that should definitely be fun. But yeah, like I always say, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, see you next time.